Hi, Ginger.
Hello.
So thank you so much for being willing to chat with me today and let me know some things about yourself. And you just told me a few seconds ago that you're kind of shy. We'll take that into consideration, but thank you so much for doing this. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about your life, your childhood, what you're up to these days, how your day generally goes, and what your hopes are and your plans for the future and things like that.
Okay.
So just answer what you feel comfortable talking about and we'll take it from there and see how it goes. So your name's Ginger, and so you've been living in Vancouver for how many years?
It'll be 3 years on June 15th.
Okay, and where were you born?
I was born in Winnipeg.
So you grew up there as well?
Yeah, well, no, I moved like a lot. I moved 71 times in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, so I lived in Saskatchewan, I lived in Manitoba, and I lived in Ontario as a kid.
And
I lived in so I lived in Yorkton, I lived in Meadow Lake, I lived in Ignis, Ontario, and I lived in Winnipeg, and I lived in Woodridge, and I lived in Steinbach, and I lived in Toronto.
Well, that's an awful lot of places. Yeah. And is this moving around with your family, or is it some other situation?
Yeah, I was like moving with my parents and my brothers, and then moving with my aunts and my grandparents and my mère, and then a foster home and another foster home, and then on my own at 15, and I had a baby at 16.
All right, so that's an awful lot of moving.
I have 5 daughters.
Pardon me?
I have 5 daughters.
Oh, 5 daughters. Oh, you look quite young.
I'm 40.
All right, and can I ask where your daughters are these days?
Well, my oldest is an adult. She's 24. And then my next 3 are with my ex-husband in Winnipeg. And then my youngest lives with my oldest brother.
And you keeping in touch with them?
Well, I would like to, but my ex-husband is like, I don't know what his problem is. He hasn't let me like talk to my daughters, and the thing is like something traumatizing happened to me, and then I asked him for help and he didn't help me. He brought Child and Family Services into the picture, and then he took his kids anyways, and then he just wouldn't let me talk to them. So it completely breaks my heart because I was a full-time mom for like 18 years. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And like full-time worker.
And so how long has it been since you talked?
Well, like I talked to my second oldest on Christmas Eve, and then I talked to my older brother on Christmas Eve, but my ex wouldn't let me talk to my other 2, so I didn't really talk to her because I didn't think it was fair. Because my other 2 would be like, why don't we get to talk to mom, right?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Because they're the ones that haven't talked to me.
Oh, so that's really hard. Obviously, I'm really sorry that that's the situation with you and your kids right now.
Yeah, I hitchhiked out here.
You hitchhiked out. And what have you been doing since you've been here?
Well, it's extremely difficult to find a place, that's for sure. I rented one place at the Cobalt that didn't work out. I didn't feel safe, and then you have to pay to have a guest over, and they have to provide ID. And then, like, somebody was found dead in their room, and had some issues with a neighbor, and then I wasn't allowed to have a guest over when they had just taken, like, a girl out, right? And I didn't feel safe staying there alone, so I ended up leaving there. And then the cops brought me, and they just dropped me off at the outreach place, the tent where you take showers for women. Yeah. And then I rented another apartment, and I got punched in the face twice for no reason at all. So again, wasn't a safe place. So I left, and I've just been on the street pretty much because the shelters never seem to have space for me.
So you don't have anywhere to sleep?
Well, like I stay at friends' places if I have the opportunity, but like when I say friends, I just mean like people I meet.
Right.
I don't really know anybody because in my life I moved so many times. It's hard to get to know people.
And what does a day look like for you? Like, what do you do with your time?
Well, depending on if I sleep or not, whatever. If I wake up, then I probably want to find medication and cigarettes. So it's like I probably come panhandle unless somebody offers it to me or unless I have something left over from the night before.
So you do some panhandling for your cash, and
because like you get robbed, you get dug all the time if you pass out, right? People like steal all your stuff.
Yeah. And were you panhandling today?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Not too bad. Like about 3 people, I got a $20 bill.
Okay.
And a few dollars.
Do you have some siblings and your parents and people back in Manitoba that you're still in touch with?
Since I've been out here, I found out on my birthday, they said my mom passed away the first year. And then, and then a few months ago, they said my dad passed away, so welfare wouldn't even pay for me to go back for a funeral. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, I'll stop the filming for a moment.
As a full-time mom, I was in an on and off relationship with my ex-husband. We were only married a year, and then we got a divorce, but then we got back together on and off. It was an abusive relationship. But then I went back to Adult Education Center, and I graduated my grade 12. And then I went and I took 1 year of business admin, and I was on honor roll. I got 100% on my accounting exam.
That's great.
And then I just went back to work, setting up trade shows. And then the last job, I did that for 17 years, 2 different companies, and then I worked for a moving company out there.
Are you comfortable talking about what caused you to stop doing those things and
I got raped, so and then I just got depressed and I didn't want to get out of bed and I didn't want to go to work.
Things started to fall apart from there.
And then my second oldest daughter was going to England, and I didn't want her to go, but it was with her dad's family, and it was kind of like a conflicting situation, but I wasn't comfortable with it, but it was like all at the same time. And my youngest daughter just turned 1, and then I turned 36, and it felt like I was invisible, like nobody gave a fuck about me.
I'm so sorry. All right, we'll take a pause again.
I had a safe place to rest and shower and take care of myself, and a safe place to eat, right? Because I'm trying to become a complete vegetarian. The last thing that I have to wean myself off of is eggs, in bread and mayonnaise and stuff like that, and pastries. That I don't eat any meat at all. Besides eggs. Yeah. But
can I just ask you, and
once
again,
I have a place.
Okay, so one of the important things for you right now is to get a place.
Yeah.
So you can feel safe.
And then
finding
proper supports, because there should be a victim support that should help me. You know, it's impossible to get on disability. They're setting me up for failure, because I went and I saw a doctor, and he signed a thing for welfare that said unemployable due to continual grieving, meaning I'm continually grieving my living children.
Yeah.
Right? And then so it says unemployable, and it's signed by a doctor. Oh no, I've got food. Thank you. You enjoy it. Thanks. But I brought that in, and that's not good enough. So then they give me the other form, and it's a longer form. So I filled out my part, and then I brought it, and the second part's for the doctor to fill out. But the doctor said no, he would fill out the second part after the disability board filled out the third part. Well, then it's 4 months waiting for the disability board. And I said, this is just like setting me up for failure, because if I bring this form and the second part's not filled out, they're not going to fill out the third. So I'm like, so why are you doing that? Like, if you were supposed to fill it out third, then yours would be third.
How frustrating.
Doesn't make sense.
So it's really hard to get.
Like, so like everybody else can collect disability and whatever, and except me. So, I don't know.
Are you having issues with substance use at this time?
Like I said, like medication. That's
okay.
Like I use heroin for my medication.
And you're getting,
but it helps relax me, and it just gives me some breathing room from my brain, like overthinking everything.
Right. So, would it be fair to say that your hopes for the future are to get housing, get reconnected with your daughters, and you somehow land on your feet?
Well, yeah, like I'd like to get housing, like I said, find proper supports that help people that have gone through like traumatizing things in their lives that they can't seem to get through. You know, because like it really isn't fair, because it's not my fault, right?
Right.
Because I went 18 years like fucking working like every fucking day, paying for my kids, like they're everything to me. Like, so it's not fair. It's not fair that like I should have so much trouble just trying to make it through the day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's been very difficult, I understand, so I appreciate that. Of course, I'm going to compensate you for this, and
That's awesome.
we'll see about these supports you need for the
I'm like a weird
trauma
person. I haven't
counseling.
owned a cell phone in years.
Well,
It was the most freeing moment in my life when I sold it.
yeah, that can be okay sometimes. So thank you, Ginger. I appreciate that, and of course I hope things really turn around for the best for you. You get what you need to put you in the right direction. So thank you.
Thank you.